this part before biting my head off. I'm not here to even come close to criticizing Ville Koivunen or Rutger McGroarty. But a lot of what was seen yesterday, at least from my perspective, will underscore the value of Kyle Dubas and Mike Sullivan bringing these kids up and sticking them immediately in prominent roles. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports, and this is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Penguins 1, Senators 0 in overtime. Sidney Crosby came up with the most richly deserved lone goal of any game ever, because all Sid did all day and all night, considering the game faced off at 5 p.m., was to set up everyone in sight with passes that were just beautiful and acrobatic, not athletic, but acrobatic. And then finally, of all ironies, it was Erik Karlsson on the power play in OT, essentially forcing Sid to take a shot. And if you were there, you know what I mean, because Karlsson held the puck, and Sid just would not budge. And Karlsson was not going to go anywhere until Sid moved into a trigger spot. Sid finally goes there. Karlsson sends him one of those soft passes that's designed to be one-timed. Boom, there it went. Really, really nice overall game. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Tristan Jarry was, wow, like every bit as good as he was in that return game in St. Paul a couple of weeks ago. But a lot of eyes, and I would imagine a lot of the enthusiasm and energy that you could feel in that building from the 16K plus on hand had to do with the promotions of Koivunen and McGroarty, and that sense that, you know, it's getting somewhere. This is progress. This is the next step. These are the next people. You don't have to go check the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton box scores to find out how they did. They're right here in front of you, the paying customers. And that's cool. Having both of them put into top 6 roles, that's cool. But more than anything, having them here to experience firsthand, flaws and all, the very real canyon that exists between the AHL and NHL level of play. Yeah, I mean, that can't be simulated. That can't be something that you show them in video work. So yeah, I saw a couple of things, and I'm going to say this one more time. I'm not criticizing here. I'm pointing out things that are very real that not only they need to work on, but I'm confident that they're going to work on and be able to move past them in short order. Example number 1, Koivunen charging way ahead of a rush and going in a mile offside. Ricard Raquel had the puck. He does a whole lot of left-right. He ends up dishing to his right to Connor Dewar, and, well, where did Koivunen go? Well, I'd ask him afterward. I'd ask him if this is a play that normally in the AHL would just be a casual dump-in. And he responded, yes, it would. And yes, that's what he expected. But no, this is a different caliber of player. Next time those 3 went up ice, Koivunen slammed on the brakes and skated off to his left and made damn sure the puck was in the zone before he was. See what I mean? Not criticisms. McGroarty is an unusual winger, as I've shared with you many times, as I've discussed with him many times. He hangs out high as much as any winger I think I've ever seen. He's almost invariably the trailer on the rush. He'll drop back and cover the points. He'll set up as a trigger man. Did this once in this game. As high as the top of the left circle. There is none of that dovetails with Sid's methodologies. It just doesn't. Sid does not have any use for that type of player. Now, everybody said and did all the right things yesterday, and believe me, I didn't hear anybody, much less Sid, complain about what I'm describing here. I'm saying that. There was one really striking sequence where Sid and Brian Rust had a lot of stuff happening down low. This was the second period, you might remember it. And Erik Karlsson and everybody was getting involved. And McGroarty basically parked himself at the right boards, outside the right hash. I'm just kind of waiting for something to come his way because that's his spot. That's his style. Now, can you alter that to an extent? Would Sullivan aim to alter something like that? Sure, to an extent, but not infinitely so. You're the player that you are. And I could see at some point in the future where the Penguins would try to find people that would work with McGroarty in that area and benefit from it. I can't name names in trying to make suggestions here, but I'm sure it's been done throughout his hockey career. When I asked him about this, he acknowledged that, specifically that, has been the case over his time playing. But he also went through other things, as Koivunen did on the rink, where he went, oh, okay, that's how it is here. Kevin Hayes' pass on the 2-on-1, that's not a pass that people make in the AHL. It was really, really slick. Saucered over the Ottawa defenseman's blade, right onto his blade, intended to be just shot. Don't catch it, don't get cute with it, just shoot it. In the AHL, you're just trying to catch the thing. You're just trying to corral it. And for the record, I did confirm with Hayes that that was Hayes' intent when he made the pass. But how do you think McGroarty will handle that the next time? That's why you do this now. That's why it's so good to have them here now. Listen to McGroarty when I brought this up with him, these passes that he was getting.
Rutger, were you almost surprised at times by the quality of the passes? You know what I mean? Like, you received some great passes in this game.
Yeah, I feel like there was, it's the NHL, and we got some dynamic players on this team, so some of the passes out there were definitely high end. I feel like there was a couple passes where, they were great plays, but, I need to handle them, like the one on the 2-on-1 with Hazy. The one that Rax gave me last shift, I was kind of getting hooked, but I still could have got one on net there. But the Hazy one, I definitely want back. I kind of just went to catch it and it just bounced over my stick. But the quality of passes are really good here.
Yeah, he gets it. This kid's the real deal. Both of them are. That's why it's so good to have them here now when these games don't matter. When we come back, J1Q. This episode is brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all your summer sports needs this season, from Major League Baseball, golf, NHL, NBA playoffs. Get the latest odds and lines, including all team matchups, player props, odds on just about everything that's out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. Now for J1Q, Sean says, DK, I never thought this was possible given his play earlier this season, but Tristan Jarry might still be salvageable. Since his recall, he's looked good more often than not, and he looks more under control back there. Now, Ryan Graves is unfortunately hopeless, but he's also far less important than Jarry. Yeah, had to get that stray in there at Graves. I thought Graves actually had a decent game yesterday. Just want to throw that out there. Also had the worst interference penalty in hockey history called against him. But I'm going to disagree with you robustly on your characterization of Jarry's play since his recall. I find your exact words here. You say he has looked good more often than not, and he looks more under control back there. He has not looked good. What he has done more often than not is look otherworldly. Okay, this is some elite goaltending that's been put on display. Now, I don't like to do, in general, analysis that makes exemptions. In other words, well, if not for that one game, they would have da-da-da-da-da. I really, really hate that, actually. The game that you're trying to exempt actually occurred, so you can't do that. However, I do feel that there is worth And looking at the way Jarry played in St. Paul, the way he played in his first 4 games really since the recall, and I do think it's fair to weigh that game in Tampa, and remember, I covered this. I was in the press box right above the net where Jarry was giving up those 4 goals on 7 shots. He gave up 1 bad goal out of those 4. The others were just a spectacular case of his team either falling apart or getting really unlucky. That was a bizarre first period. And I do not pin that one on him. Now, Buffalo was an abomination. Buffalo was an abomination on everyone's part. No exceptions, including both Jarry and Alex Nedeljkovic. There's nowhere to run, hide, or anything from Buffalo. But now what are we talking about since he's been back? Because this game follows Buffalo. And remember what I was saying around the time of Jarry's first 3 or 4 starts, and I said it specifically like this on this program. I wanted to see him face adversity so that we could see if he can overcome it, because Jarry's biggest problem in the NHL over the duration of his time in the NHL is that he allows bad performances to snowball. He allows 1 loss to become 3 or 4. That didn't happen. He started the Buffalo game. He blew the Buffalo game. Everybody blew the Buffalo game. Mike Sullivan shows faith in him, puts him right back out there for this one. And I'm going to place this one in a ranking just as high as the one in St. Paul. And I didn't think I would be able to do that. I said from up there that I thought that was the best goaltending that I'd covered all season. And this was not just the same level, but it was the same methods, really. The Senators took a lot of low shots early. They got him going down low. When he gets going down low, he doesn't lose. That's been true of him throughout his career. Just hasn't happened nearly often enough, and it hasn't happened without the longer lulls that I'm describing here. I'm going to tell you something here. I had a brief talk with him after this game, not an interview or anything like that, so I'm not going to share anything that he said. But I shared some of my own thoughts that I'm sharing with you here with him. And my belief is that this also happens to be his belief. He knows what he's doing right now. He knows how he's doing it. And in the highly unlikely event that he's grossly overthinking it, he knows why he's doing it too. But maybe not. He just wants to be a good goalie. And of late, he's been way better than good. It's salvageable? That's what you asked. I'm still not going there. You can try me again after the season's over, my man. I'm still not going there. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everyone listening to Daily Shot of Penguins. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.